Welcome to the True Truth Weekly podcast, where tough questions meet careful answers. We'll present timely perspectives on current events, politics, and give the cultural context you can trust. We tackle the big questions on origins, the Genesis kinds, the creation-evolution debate, and the young earth. Learn about faith and reason, theology, apologetics, and the flaws of the Da Vinci Code, and what is the gospel. Plus, we take on math, art, philosophy, alleged Bible tensions, wisdom, and the conversations that sharpen understanding.
Howdy. Welcome to True Truth Weekly, Episode 6. Today we talk about YEP, the tragic I-35 crash in Oklahoma City, Hannity, and the Titan II disaster in 1980. I'm Jay Hall, your host. I taught math at Howard College for over a decade, and I've written a number of books, including Is a Young Earth Possible? And Biological Essentialism, basically Aristotle's biology of the Genesis kinds. You can find the info in my video description for the links to the topics. Just go to thenewscasters.com/True Truth Weekly with hyphens between those words. Or you can just do a search on Bing, but do it this way. The Newscasters in quotes and True Truth Weekly in quotes on Bing, and it will come up with our stuff. Feel free to contact us at our website, totalyouth.us. That's totalyouth.us, and click on the contact button. You can find links to our books and other social media. Have you heard of the search engine yep.com? That's YEP. Search Young Earth in quotes in the year 2026, and you'll get some helpful results. Yep gave two relevant results. One is from Homeschool Blogger, with my video Young Earth Today 2026. And in the show links, there's a link to a more recent video where I defend the young Earth. The second result from Yep is the article, What to Learn from the Decline of Young Earth Creationism, unquote, by Marc Sims from last month. Marc Sims received his MDiv from Southern Seminary in Louisville. He is the teaching pastor at Quino Baptist Church in Kennewick, Washington. One wonders if he's visited the Ark Encounter or the Creation Museum in Kentucky and spoken with Dr. Terry Martinson, who got his PhD in History of Geology, and Dr. Nathan Jensen, who has a PhD in Cell Biology from Harvard. In my convenience poll on the age of the Earth, 30% held to a young Earth. This is the national survey I would like to see. How old is the Earth? A, 4,000 years. B, 6,000 years. C, 8,000 years. D, 10,000 years. E, more than 10,000 years. So I would even question the very thesis in the title of Brother Sims' article. Al Mohler, the president of Southern Seminary, is a young Earth advocate. I highly suggest that Brother Mark get Dr. Madume's book on sin from Baker Academic, Defending Sin, a Response to the Challenges of Evolution and the Natural Sciences by Hans Madume, and that's Madueme. This book is not to excuse unrighteousness, but rather defends the young Earth view. It received an honorable mention in Theological Studies from the Southwestern Journal of Theology Book Award in 2024. According to Thomas McCall of Asbury Theological Seminary, this is the most erudite and theologically sophisticated defense of young Earth creationism that I have read. Sim quotes Carl Trueman of Grove City College, whose new book is The Desecration of Man, as follows, quote, whether evolution can be argued from the evidence is actually irrelevant to the reason most people believe it. Few of us are qualified to opine on the science. But evolution draws on the authority that science possesses in modern society. Like priests of old who were trusted by the community at large and therefore had significant social authority, so scientists today often carry similar weight. And when the idea being taught has an intuitive plausibility, it is persuasive, unquote. And that was the statement from Carl Trueman. The exact same thought applies to OEFs, or old Earth fallacies. Sims brings up the classic objection of how we get day and night before the sun. Well, all you have to do is look at your globe that you have at home and spin it, and then take your light and shine it on your globe, and you get the idea. Makes sense, right? So if you've been to a concert or a basketball game lately, you've used your flashlight on your smartphone. So that's my way of trying to break it down to the very base level. Get your globe, spin it, take your light, shine it on the globe. There you go. Another book Sims should read is Coming to Grips with Genesis, which answers all the common objections to the non-traditional reading of the first book of Scripture. Consider Jesus' age verses. Mark 10:6, Mark 13:19 and 20, Luke 11:50 and 51. But at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. That's Mark 10:6. So there can't be millions of years between day one and the creation of Adam. If Jesus is young earth, we should be too. To the best of my knowledge, there has not been any formal debate on these two issues. One, Jesus was the young earth. Two, the New Testament supports the young earth. Sims fails to mention the A-plus documentary Is Genesis History with Del Tackett of the Truth Project. For in 6 days, that is day 1 to day 6, the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them. But he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, not epoch, and made it holy. That's Exodus 20:11. Sims decries creationists who warn of the slippery slope. Deviate from a young earth and you are on a slippery slope to deny the essential tenets of the faith. Disagree on this issue and you do not take the Bible seriously, unquote. So that's Sims mocking Orthodox Protestants who take Genesis as historical narrative or op-gain. The slippery slope is real. For example, Rhett McLaughlin of Rhett and Link fame and Seth Andrews, who wrote Deconverted. Embracing Darwinism led to doubt, which led to agnosticism or atheism. And of course, Darwin himself is a case study of the road to compromise. See chapter 10 of my book. The chapter is called Darwin's Downers from my book Biological Essentialism. So I document that fully in that book. So be sure to check it out. Also for Brother Sims, I think will be most helpful if he reads my book, Yes, Young Earth Science. So Brother Sims, please check those out. Now to the news. Hannity flips the Vatican. Recently on his show I heard Sean Hannity say that he is no longer Roman Catholic. So instead of RC and me or RCC and me, it's different. This is not new news, but it shows that he still holds that position and his departure was not just a temporary fad. Hank Coulter is another example of a high-profile ex-Catholic who was apparently turned Protestant. Now to the tragic crash on I-35 in Oklahoma City recently. 3 people, including an Oklahoma State trooper and child, were killed in a crash on I-35 in Oklahoma City last Wednesday, April 8th. The crash involved debris falling from a truck, which caused an SUV to swerve, cross the center cable barrier, and collide with Oklahoma Highway Patrol Trooper Vernon Brake. The OHP is seeking dash cam footage. If you have any, please call 405-425-2323, 405-425-2323. Thank you very much. The Titan nuclear explosion, in quotes. Recently, much discussion has surrounded the actual use of nuclear weapons. Has America ever experienced a nuclear explosion? Well, sort of. The 1980 Damascus Titan missile explosion in Arkansas was triggered when an airman dropped an 8-pound socket wrench from a height of 80 feet, which bounced around and punctured the Titan II missile's first stage fuel tank. The fuel leaked led to a catastrophic explosion on September 19th. The explosion ejected the 9-megaton nuclear warhead 600 feet from the silo. The blast killed Airman David Livingston and injured 21 other personnel. There was no radioactive contamination. The explosion of the fuel blew off the 740-ton silo door of reinforced concrete and steel. A 9-megaton bomb would burn up people outside, that is not in a bunker, within a 20-mile radius. Now for a bit of fun and satire. No more new Queens rallies in London have taken place this month, according to our sources. And in the show links, you can see the response from John Knox, who had some very choice words to say about wicked queens. Be sure to check out our last episode where we interviewed Dr. Dan Biddle of Genesis Apologetics. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. It's just J Hall MS. That's my degree in math. I'm in Oklahoma City. If you can suggest anyone for a possible interview, just give me a holler. We'd love to hear your feedback, pro or con. Just go to totalyouth.us. Thanks for listening. Join us next time.